down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and tenants, no, just joking, investors and landlords, I'm back in the studio. Me, of course I am. This is what I do. But I got Mystery Man back. I'm so excited that Mystery Man is willing to be my friend. I don't pay him. He's just freedom with real estate. But he is going through a learning process. I wouldn't say trial, but just to catch you up to speed. Mystery Man has got his very first rental. He locked this up amazing, closed it amazing. We'll get into those later. But he bought it with tenants. The seller is the dad. The tenants are actually two sisters and a brother. Confusion, I know. How does dad sell the property underneath somebody? We're going to get to that later. But right now we're trugging forward on what do you do now, what? So you bought a property, comes with tenants. You have no lease. You have no social security. You have no application. You have no photo IDs. You have no keys. Now what? So if this interests you at all, this is a quick update. Go back to episodes. They're very quick, 5 minutes. Episodes 177 and 174. I said that backwards, 174, 177 to get up to speed. So last time we dropped the hammer with the demand letter. So that was episode 77, 177. So then what happened, Mr. Mystery Man?
With the demand letter, I asked for the rent to be dropped off, and lo and behold, it was dropped off prior to the due date.
Was it quickly? What date was it? Was it before the 1st? Was it Friday?
It was Friday. It was.
So the 30th, I think?
Yes, it was.
So there was technically a day. So that these tenants took your message on or before the 1st.
Boom.
Nope, kaboom. Now, the interesting thing about it, Mr. Mystery Man, I overheard you talk to these tenants, and you were very matter of fact. Where did you get this tenacity to demand service, or were you in sales before under just little phone sales, or how did you kind of got them jumping?
Yes, I have instructed a few people in my career.
As on the phone? Okay.
On the phone, in person. I've been accountable for over 100 employees before. I've had 20 managers under me. So
one day we'll reveal the Mystery Man, but for now this is kind of fun. So, okay, you told them what was up. Were they frustrated with the price? Did we talk about that last time? No, they didn't. We didn't talk about that. So we sent this demand letter. The demand letter, we knew from they were only paying $500 a month rent. The dad was paying the mortgage of $750. He was helping them out. I'm assuming dad wanted to get rid of this property because he was tired of maybe entitlement. I don't know. It's none of our business. So we assumed when you wrote your demand letter, you said at least $750.
Correct.
But you really wanted to do $950 because that's the
correct
lowest. How'd you feel, and why'd you do that? I know that I've helped you in that situation, but why'd you do that?
I did that to be in accordance with the law.
Just in case you stand in front of a judge.
Right, because they actually asked when they called to inquire about when the rent was due, where to drop it off. There was, a question of, do they pay the $950 or do they pay the $750? They were almost ready to. If I'd told them to pay the $950, they would have. But I wanted to err on the side of caution.
Oh, I like that. And I was going to say err on the side of safety net. I don't want to be the greedy bad landlord. Everyone already thinks that already. When you go to the courtroom and you're standing in front of a judge, oh, you're a millionaire because you own one property. No, I'm not a millionaire. I just sacrificed, didn't go to freaking Starbucks every day, and I saved my money and I put some down money and I worked on my credit. That's how I got a property. So I shouldn't suffer because I've suffered in the past, but I think you played the best move. I know some other landlords out there would probably be like, you should have got the $950, but again, you have no lease, you have no documentation. What could have happened is it could have been a nightmare. They could have stayed in the property, not paid you. Then how are you going to evict them? Because it rides on the daddy owned the property. You could get them out. You can issue a writ, but it could have took longer. But what you did, I thought you handled it really well. You asked for a demand letter. You slapped them in the face. Within one day, you got $750 on a property that you just closed. So that's great news. So then what's the next step now? So what are you going to do? You still don't have any information on them. How did you get this information, or what's your next step?
So as soon as I got that check in hand, I sent them a lease application, or I sent them an application. Fill this out. I sent that to them on the 1st. On the 2nd, after they'd had time to digest that, I followed that up with a lease application for them to fill out. In preparation, I have an appointment with them on Wednesday evening. So I told them to fill both of those documents out prior to our appointed time.
Okay, so if you're a rookie, what's happening here is we're trying not to smash these tenants and scare them. We have an asset that needs some repair. They've been living in the property for we don't know how long, for a long time. Do you know how long?
I'm not sure.
Probably years. We don't want to spook them and get them out, and then we're lost revenue. We're going to hit them with we got the application back. So you got to do this tit for tat. Slowly, you got to say, the next thing Mr. Mystery Man is going to say, just so you know, to be compliant with my company, we need a deposit. So what is that deposit? What can you afford? Here we go again. The reason is because you owe me $750. I really want you to pay $950, and you owe me $1,000 deposit. And you're just going to overwhelm these people after looking at their application. Can they afford? Who has $3,000 in the bank? Who has $2,000 in the bank? Everyone. I read a statistic the other day. 76% of America is paycheck to paycheck. So think about it logically. 4 friends, only one of them can survive.
Wow.
So I'm assuming all tenants can't. Not in a negative. That's just how society works. Quick gratification. So you don't want to hit people right out the gate with the full price. Next time he's going to sign the lease with them, and now he has their social security number. Now we have leverage.
Absolutely.
Real quick. And we noticed as you're looking at their application, they've been working at their job for 5 years. We have leverage because we can say we will pursue you if there's any damages to the property.
That's right.
We can pursue you, or you have a potential to lose your occupation that you've been building up for 5 years. Now, we don't want to threaten people. That's not what we do. It's the truth. If you get evicted, did you know this, ladies and gentlemen out there? Employers look at evictions as bad credit. And so when I think smart people that hire people, they look up for evictions. If you are desperate, you do desperate things, and employers do not hire desperate people because they are doing transactions with finances and inventory, and it's just the fact of life. So the next phase is to sign the lease. And so we're excited about that. Mr. Man, what other comments have you learned so far?
Document, err on the side of the law, get everything in writing, find out for sure what you can afford, ask the right questions, and just, cover your basis.
I think one exciting thing that you did, Mr. Mystery Man, kind of got me excited, is that when you went back over there and posted the notice, what was going on in your pocket? Not pocket pool.
I was trying to record the conversation, and the recorder was working fine for a few minutes, and a portion of the way through the conversation, like down the recorder, was off. I was like, oh, gosh. So I casually turned it back on and had to kind of go back into the conversation. So, Mr. Brother, what was that again?
Yeah.
So you said you might move out when? You guys talked about what?
Yep. And here's the thing. I know this sounds kind of psycho, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, savvy investors out there. Society is so crazy, and you have a recordable device called a smartphone or a recorder, and just to keep everything on the up and up, I record every transaction I do, either by written, by photo, and by recording the lease. So when I sit down with someone and sign a lease, I just say, hey, just in case I pass away tomorrow, I get hit by a bus, I want to make sure that the next property manager is completely clear of the terms and agreement that we talked about. When you walk on a property and it's a female and you are a male, you just don't want to be caught in a position. He said this, he made a pass at me. What does it cost you to have a recording device or just be unaware? And I tell people right up front, I just want to make sure that we do what we say we're going to do. I'm going to record this. Is there a problem with that? If I've never had anyone say, no, I just want to be integrity. And that's why I say it, not to be deceptive like cloak and dagger. Oh, maybe I can get them to say something. No, just A, for reference. B, that I'm not going to say anything derogatory, or I'm not going to say anything that I can't honor or do. And we're going to be above board. That's what you should do. You're a professional investor, a professional property manager, a professional in general. So you should keep good practices, get that ball rolling now. All right, that's it for now, right?
That's right.
So the next thing is lease. Now what?
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at SavvyRadioShow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook and always be buying assets.